Today is the final test, and all the data that's been gathered, all the improvements that have been made over the years to the system are going to be fully demonstrated today. And almost call it a full dress rehearsal of actually the next flight for EM1, and then after that the second one after that is with people on board. And the fact that all these years of hard work and the failures that have been simulated, the failures that have not been simulated but we've learned from, are all critical into the successful test that we expect to have today. It is critically important. I mean, these parachute system, we can have all the pieces of the rocket and we can fly the whole mission to the moon, do our stay there, come back, and these parachutes don't work, then it was all for naught. And it's certainly one of the most reassuring parts of the mission for the crew that you've done your whole thing, you've survived re-entry through the atmosphere, 5,000 degrees of plasma going away as you heat shield the blades, and you get that tug from the parachutes when they come out, knowing that okay, we're going to land and we'll land safe. I just got back 9 months ago from 139 days aboard ISS for Expedition 52 and 53. Over 300 experiments were conducted, either that we were directly involved with or that we observed and managed while we were on board conducting science. We did 3 spacewalks to do repairs on the outside of the space station. We had 4 different cargo vehicles come on up to bring supplies and also taking science back down to the Earth, as well as removing the trash from the space station. It's amazing. It was also the first time that we had 4 USOS, or we say U.S. Side of the space station, crew members up there. Typically we only had 3, and the Russian segment had 3. In our case, it was 2 on the Russian segment and 4 on the U.S. So we got a ton of work done on space station. Did a lot of mechanical work and maintenance work that had been put off for years because we're trying to get all the science done. And so really had a successful mission in making station a lot better than it was before, as well as getting all the science done that needed to be done. So because we have lots of pictures and video, but it's hard to when you're looking at a screen this big to give the people the idea of everything you can see with your eyes. And so to get that kind of emotional feel of seeing your home planet as a human being, in 90 minutes as you go around it, putting the music to it was our best hope to try and connect the two, to give you guys that feeling of what it's like to be on that outpost going around the Earth, and just seeing how finite it is, but also just how amazing it is. I grew up in Santa Monica, California, and I always thought it was fascinating stuff, but I'm just a skinny kid from Southern California, and I never thought it was really possible. But I was fascinated by flying and airplanes. I knew I wanted to be a pilot, so I was able to apply and get a Marine Corps scholarship to go to school. And so through that process, I was qualified to be able to become a pilot. And so that was my dream. And then so here I am, flying F-18s for the Marine Corps, getting the opportunity to go to Top Gun and be a weapons instructor. And then it was like, okay, well, what can I do that's the next level, and the next challenge, and help betterment of, my fellow flyers, and it was become a test pilot. And then, to become a test pilot, and then I see, friends of mine get selected to be astronauts. It's like, wow, this maybe could be a possibility. And so it wasn't, it was fortunate that every step of my career brought me closer and closer to it, so that when I applied, fortunately I was qualified enough to be selected. Well, I'd say that we have a space program that is, very vibrant and, leads the world, but it's also partnered with the world. And that space program has tens of thousands of people working in it, and astronauts are one very tiny visible part of it, but just one tiny part of it. Everybody has to do their job. Our parachute team has to have done their job for all these years to get us to the point where astronauts can fly back in Orion and safely land. And so whether a kid is interested in particular science, or if it's engineering, mathematics, we need all of them to be in our space program. And if they want to become an astronaut, then keep working hard in those fields, because look at the backgrounds of the astronauts we have. A wide variety of people. We've got geologists, we've got medical doctors, we've got engineers, astrophysicists, stick monkeys like me, pilots. And so we need all different types of people. And think about going to Mars. Are we going to need big spacecraft that's going to take us there for 9 months, and then 9 months coming home? Are we going to need plumbers? Are we going to need electricians? Are we going to need psychologists or poets? Who knows? These are all things that may require people to have very different backgrounds, a lot of different qualifications. And so kids that are interested in the space program and helping explore space, whatever they're interested in, be passionate about, be the best in your field, and guess what? You may end up as somebody that we could use on space. Because we don't have clouds and weather to get in the way. We can look down the Earth, and we can see the daylight.